Madhava Hare Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttama Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Naistiki
Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Gopa Kumaraya
Nanda Gopa Kumaraya
Govindaya Namo Namaha
Govindaya Namo Namaha Chakshurumitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha
Shri Krishna
Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Asadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna. Do we read this? No, right? Better? Like this? Still working? Okay, good. Thank you so much, Anshu Mataji Kanaya Prabhu, for hosting. Nice house. Amazing. Very good. Yes. Thank you all for joining as well. We are going to finish our study of Bhagavad Gita today. We started 2021. We would have perhaps never finished it, but we are going to finish it today, just so that we finish. Because the original idea perhaps was never implemented. The whole idea was that people study, come, and we discuss. Right? Hardly there were perhaps 2-3 sessions in last 4 years when people actually studied and then came and we discussed. Always became giving classes. But for the sake of it, let's finish it. And we will start with Srimad Bhagavatam, wherein we will be really needing to study and then come. So, at least in Bhagavatam we will try to implement that. Anyway, when Gita started, Arjuna in the first chapter is giving a lot of reasons why he doesn't want to fight. And eventually, with his logic and reasoning, he was confused. So he tells to Krishna, Karpanya doshopahatas swabhavaha pritchami tvam dharma sammudacetaha yat shreyaha syan nishchitam bruhi tanme shishyasteham chadivam tvam prapannam. Arjuna is saying to Krishna that my intelligence has been taken over now. I am a mudha, fool, dharma sammudha. I don't know what to do, which dharma to apply. Therefore, please tell in conclusive terms what is really of benefit for me. Shreya, long-term benefit. Shishyasteham, I am going to accept you as my guru. I am your shishya. Prabannam, I am surrendering. Yeah. So Arjuna had surrendered already. And in logical sense, Krishna should have just told, because Arjuna, you have accepted that you are a fool, you don't have intelligence, you don't know what needs to be done, you want me to tell you what needs to be done, and you are surrendering. Just go and fight. Logical. Gita could have been over. But then, the whole logical, rational, reasonable discussion took place between Krishna and Arjuna, leading eventually to 18th chapter, wherein Arjuna eventually is being asked by Krishna, please surrender. Sarvadharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam vraja. So that's the Charama Shloka of Bhagavad Gita. It's the conclusive, the final teaching of Krishna to Arjuna. But someone who has already surrendered right in the beginning, okay, second chapter, Arjuna surrendered. Prapannam, I'm surrendering. Done. Whole 18th chapter has been spoken, and then Krishna is asking, surrender. Yeah. Why? Arjuna could have told, don't you remember? I already told. Beginning of second chapter I have told. Of course, they are not talking like in chapters. Okay, now we'll start 18th chapter. They're just talking. But quite long ago, Arjuna had told, I'm surrendering. And now Krishna is asking, surrender. Why?
Normally, people may like options probably. He has given many options. There are many ways to come to me.
Yeah.
And nothing is possible than just surrender.
No, but
And in the beginning, he didn't get any knowledge.
Yeah.
So from this, wanhoop, wanhoop in Nederland, in English.
Destitute.
So hopelessness, he said, yes, I surrender. And then Krishna told everything information, and now he said you can choose. And now you get information, so you can surrender not from your hopelessness, but from your heart knowledge.
very good. In the beginning, Arjuna is in frustration. And he is telling it in frustration, confusion. Krishna wants us to surrender in with knowledge, not out of frustration, not out of confusion. You choose it with knowledge, with your intelligence. Yeah. So that's the journey Arjuna underwent in the entire Gita. His heart is transformed. He knows exactly what needs to be done. So when Krishna gives the option, Yatha Ichchasi Tatha Kuru, that you do however you desire, Arjuna tells in a very concrete way, kṛṣhṇa tad vachanam. I'll do. However you say, I'll just do it. But not out of just blind belief, not out of frustration, not in confusion, but understanding everything as is. So that's the journey of Arjuna. So, as such, we have been discussing since last couple of chapters about different actions in different modes. Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. Krishna, of course, was touching about it quite early in Gita, but then in 14th chapter, elaborated quite extensively about Sattva Guna, Rajoguna, Tamoguna. Then continue to discuss about it, and in 16th chapter described about Asuri Bhava. In 17th, much in detail about Yajna, Dana and Tapa. How you can perform your Yajna, Dana, Tapa in mode of goodness, passion, ignorance. So Yajna in mode of goodness, Yajna in mode of passion, Yajna in mode of ignorance. Dana in mode of goodness, Dana in passion, Dana in ignorance. Right? And Tapa, same. And the beginning of 18th chapter, Arjuna is asking, so what about sannyas, renunciation? And Krishna picks up the same topic that one has to perform yajna, dana, tapa. Renouncing is not just renouncing activities, one has to be doing yajna, dana, tapa irrespective. And even renunciation will be in mode of goodness, passion, ignorance. It sort of again describes how one can renounce things in goodness, in passion, or in ignorance. And eventually we'll continue to speak about how any activity, whatever you're doing, doesn't matter which activity it is, any action can be done in sattva, tamas, rajas. And the idea is very simple. When you perform the activity, an action which is born out of your own prakriti, you are performing it without expecting any results. That is in sattva. You anticipate results, that's an passion. You don't care about anything, that's an tamas. As simple as that. Any karma what you do, if it fits in these three categories, then it will fit in one of these categories always. And then Krishna goes on to describe how, based on different gunas, different varnas operate, how brahmanas operate, how kshatriyas operate, how vaishyas operate, and how shudras operate. So brahmana is mostly in goodness, sometimes in passion. Kshatriya is mostly in passion, sometimes in goodness. A Vaishya is mostly in passion, sometimes in ignorance. A Shudra is mostly in ignorance, sometimes in passion. Clear? No? Yes or no? Yes? So Vaishya is? Mostly in passion, sometimes in ignorance. Good. So, and the characteristics are described. Like Brahmana is always peaceful. Kshatriya has this Ishvara Bhava, he wants to protect. Vaishya do Krishi, Goraksha and Vanijya, they perform agriculture, they protect the cows, they do trading. And Shudras are serving other categories of people. And it is not based on birth, it is based on one's own guna and karma. Yeah? And eventually Krishna will come at the situation which he already had told quite early in the Gita, that it is always better to perform one's own duty, swadharma, even not in a perfect way, rather than trying to do someone else's duty in perfect way. And that applies in Varnashrama concept. Somebody is a Brahmana, so it is better to perform a Brahmana's responsibilities maybe in an imperfect way rather than trying to be a Kshatriya, because psychophysically one is not. So someone is a Brahmana, they are not Brahmana based on birth. Right? So you have to really understand this. Brahmana or Kshatriya or Vaishya or Shudra was not based on birth. It was based on how is your psychophysical nature. Now somebody is having this tendency of teaching, being a spiritual person, doesn't really care about everything else. For him to be a Kshatriya, like you go and take weapons and start fighting, is quite a lot. They will not be able to do it. Even if they feel like, oh, my job is not really great. So dharma is understanding your own dharma in occupational plane of existence, which can eventually connect you to spiritual plane of existence. Is it making sense? When you understand your dharma, what are you made for? Which perhaps all of us sitting here, ranging in our age from 15 years to 50 years or 60 years, never thought of perhaps. What am I made for? What is my dharma? My own purpose in life. What is it? Because our education system doesn't really talk about this. They never want you to learn about yourself. They want you to become a good laborer. Yeah. So that at the end of your degree, you can just come and join an industry. So you are prepared for a good laborship. You are already trained. Morning 8 o'clock you go, you are given some breaks in between, you have a lunch break. Sit in the, don't ask anything beyond that. Learn what is being taught. Like basically be a sheep. Right? And then we have been taught, and then right after graduation you are ready for an industry. Don't ask questions which is beyond the syllabus. Just go and be the laborer. Then we all think, wow, amazing, I got a job. Well, your whole education system is supposed to be towards this, right? We are not prepared for wherein you get a graduate degree and then you are like, wow, I can now think about life. You know about yourself. You know about your own purpose of life. It's hardly the case. Yes or no? Yeah. What sort of value system were we brought up with in the beginning of our lives? What is the value which you are taught in the school? Be punctual. Right? What else? Do your homework sincerely. Yeah, be in uniform. You just follow the whole crew, right? Okay. What else? Score very well. What else?
Don't object authority.
Yeah, don't object authority. Follow your teachers. What else? Good behavior. Yes. What else? You see how you are trained to be a good laborer? Yeah? This is all needed for being a good laborer. Last time. So, unfortunately, that's the value system we have been built with. And when that is the value system we have been built with, and we come to Krishna consciousness and we are trying to build a different value system. You're not this body. It's so difficult for us to understand. But we have never heard this thing before. We have never lived like this before. But Krishna does this first thing in Gita. You're not the body. And we spent 20 years, 30 years, 40 years in Krishna consciousness. Still, it's difficult for us to live. And I'm not this body. Because the value system which we have been taught with, the kids, that no, you are the body. Whatever this body feels, it's all you. That's the value system. It has gone to your subconscious mind. It's there in your muscle memory. This is how you behave. Right? Because whatever is our value system, that's how we carry it forward. Now we are like 30, 40, 50 years, and then it's so difficult for us to just get the first concept of Gita. And you're not the body. Right? But everybody thinks that, no, I'm a philosopher because I see so many posts in Instagram. I can think about very advanced concepts in life. The basic, biggest flaw in our education system that we have been really never asking, and why is it like this? You have to go at 8 o'clock and then come back at 5 o'clock. Why? Why is this education system like this? Why is it that children are not given the opportunity to actually explore about themselves? Why is it not being taught like that? Anyway, So if you go through the whole history of how the whole thing has come up, it's when the Industrial Revolution was coming up in Europe and in the US, the school system was reformed that time. It has not changed since then. It's been the same last 150 years or so. Nothing has changed. People are put inside a class, and bombarded. Children. And the value system is which is given, then you are going to become a good laborer. Anyway, let's try to change it, because we are studying Bhagavad Gita. At least somehow, whatever good fortune you want to have come here, not by chance. We need to start rewiring. Our central nervous system can actually rewire itself. It's called as neuroplasticity. If you start doing something even now, consistently, you can rewire your value system. Like what exactly is valuable in life. In Sanskrit it's called as artha, that which has meaning, worth. Right? So the Vedic education system would start with dharma. You would be first led to figure out what is your purpose of life. What is that which you should be doing? And your value system would be based on that, based on your swadharma. Artha is based on dharma. And then on top of these things, kama was built. And okay, no problem. You can enjoy, you can have a good life. But then your swadharma is in place, your value system is in place. Now you can enjoy. Right? Have a good life, no problem. Yeah. But then make sure that you are also preparing yourself for moksha. Amazing, isn't it? Now, the whole thing is collapsed. Value system, craziness. Dharma, being a labor, donkey, that's the dharma we all have been. Right? Our value system is that's the value system we have been sort of engraved. Right? And happily the entire world, 7.5 billion population is doing it. Very happy. Right? Well, just a few of the others are sitting in the top, just controlling the whole world. So, anyway, we can hit a reset button. You don't need to stop doing your job. At least start asking, what is your purpose of life? You should have asked as the first question in your life. But you can ask now. Start asking, what is the purpose of your life? What is that which you are happy doing? What is that which is very natural for you? What is that one thing which is natural for you, you are happy doing it, and there is an absolute social contribution. You are doing it for the sake of others, not for yourself. And how do you connect with this? To Krishna. First one. You're happy doing it. It's natural for you. There's absolute social contribution in there. Is not for your own sense gratification. How do we connect with Krishna? And that's when it becomes spiritual. Your Swadharma then becomes a spiritual activity. Yeah? Can we think about it? When? When do you want to think about this? It's a question. When?
Please, no. Every time.
Every time. If you keep thinking about it, perhaps you'll die like that. Think. Come to a conclusion, start doing it. Yeah. If we can somehow or the other figure out, it's a bit difficult task, but you need to give some time and you will be able to figure out. Your life will be a bit on a different dimension then. You will start living through purpose-filled life. You can live a content and satisfied life. You can become actually happy. You will not be looking forward towards, oh, when is the next vacation? Where am I going next? The entire life, people now look at it. How, Christmas period, New Year, People are so busy traveling here and there. Why? Because they're so frustrated living the life which they're living. Just look forward so much. I need to go to this vacation. Why? If your life is so miserable, why are you choosing to live like that? Yeah. Why is it that the whole year I need to just keep struggling, suffering, torturing myself, living like a donkey, so that I can live a few days holidays? Think about it. The whole Gita starts with you. It does not start with Krishna. Krishna, as I said in the beginning, he couldn't have just finished the entire Gita, could have told to Arjuna, just do. Don't ask questions now. Now is not the time. Let us just fight today. We'll go in the evening, we'll have a break, and that time we can discuss. Krishna could have told that. Shut your mouth and just go and fight. Yeah. Could have told, right? Because Arjuna is telling, I am surrendering. You are my guru. Tell me now what I should do. Krishna is like, stupid idiot, just go and fight. Yeah. Yes?
Yes.
He could have done that. Perhaps if we were in Krishna's position, that's the only thing we would have done. Crazy or what, Arjuna? Like, come on. Everybody is watching at you. Have some sense of peer pressure. Right? Look at that person. Look at Duryodhana. How enthusiastic that person is. Right? So, we would have just tried a different way of inspiring Arjuna, and just gone with the wind. But Krishna actually took time to discuss through, not for the sake of Arjuna, but for the sake of us, that we can understand. Eventually coming to the place where Krishna tells to Arjuna that he repeats. So that's the first verse which he repeats. Do your own dharma, even imperfectly, okay, no problem. So that's a repeated shloka. The second repeated shloka in 18th chapter is Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. The same line. Krishna already told it in 9th chapter. Repeats, exact same line. Please keep Krishna in your heart. Become Krishna's devotee. I want zero disturbance. Okay? Everything else is fine. Kanayaji, no problem. Let it be there. Come inside. Be here. Now people will be now starting looking at you. Come inside. Be here. Let them look and see. No problem.
Sorry.
Discussing man mana bhava mad bhava. Krishna is asking directly. So many times people ask, where will Krishna tell that you have to surrender, you have to serve him? Show them this verse. Double. Krishna has told it twice. You have to surrender. You have to become my devotee. Surrender to me. You have to worship me. People ask me, where will Krishna tell that you have to go and worship, have all this altar and everything? If you don't have altar, how will you worship? Krishna is saying, Madhyaji mam namaskuru. Okay. Of course, Krishna is everywhere, but you can't just start offering Krishna, Hare Krishna, so having an altar then gives you a facility to go and worship and to offer respect and everything. Right? Otherwise, it's a bit difficult, isn't it? Krishna says in 9th chapter, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam, you have to offer your food to me. If you don't have altar, how will you offer food? To where will you offer food? If there is no deity of Krishna. So, people are ill-informed. So many times people come to me and tell that Krishna told doing your karma is the best worship. Just yesterday somebody was telling. I asked him, can you show me this verse? Because I have read Gita multiple times, I don't find this verse. that your work is your worship. And the lady was a bit shocked. Oh, it's not in Gita? I told, no, it's not in Gita. So she was like, oh, I need to study then. I told, yes, you should study. So that's the problem. One of my other friends once told, Gita tells Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. He's like, which sloka? People just put whatever is there out, it's all from Bhagavad Gita. Unfortunately, it's not. Gita verses are only like, it's fixed. They don't get updated every, with over the air updates. It's just there. So it's unfortunate that we have not connected ourselves with the teachings, and it's not part of our value system. It would have been amazing if Gita would have been part of our value system. I don't need to teach anything then. We could straight start with Srimad Bhagavatam. Right? You understand what's the value system? Something which you really then care for it. Like for example, tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock morning, job, you go. Even if you are not going, you switch on your computer. You are not doing it because you are on support. So everybody else does it. So it's been broken. If I tell you don't do it, you'll be like, Prabhu, get lost. I came here to get some peace of mind. Right? I'm not here to mess up my life. Right? Because that's there as a value system in your existence. Right? It's a value system. You really even if the whole world collapses, you still turn on. You are there showing up yourself. Because that's a value system you have been built with. But that's not the same case with chanting Hare Krishna mantra, studying Bhagavad Gita Bhagavatam, coming to association. We need to push ourselves. We are like 350, 400 people in the group. There are hardly 40 people here. Yeah. Why? Because it's an option. I'll go sometimes. Yearly once, twice, Janmashtami, Ramnavami. That's good enough. Because that's the value system I have been engraved with. Yeah, some special occasion is there, some festival is there, you go and see the deity. Yeah. You agree? So that's the problem with our values. We need to really work on our value system. What exactly is the value system you are operating with? It has to become your existence, like the fish out of water. The water is essential and is an absolute need for fish to exist. Fish will make you happy. You go and give an iPad, iPhone Pro 17, out of the water and go and start showing the best of the Tom Cruise movie. Come on, let's Netflix and chill. Fish will be like, put me in the water. Have you seen fish out of water? You see? You don't feel like that, right? We feel very comfortable. I would feel it like that when I was in India. I crushed in the office and I'm working for 12 hours a day and there's so much traffic jam and pollution, and I would feel fish out of water, but Netherlands has been my water. So I'm very much comfortable now. The government takes care of really well. Sometimes. Healthcare system is a bit messed up, but I live with it paracetamol is fine. Who cares? So we are very comfortable. Forgetting the reality of life. Tomorrow everything can be a dead end. Just tomorrow, or today afternoon, just right now. Can be. Nobody cares about it. But Krishna says, Balasthavat Kridatam. You are a young kid. Only thing which is meaningful is playing. Tarunasthavat Tarun. It's a youthful age, but it's concerning the boys and girls. That's it. Vruddhasthavat Chinta. Somebody becomes old, the only thing which is of value system for you is just chinta. Creating worries. Right? Worrying for the worries which you have created just now. Yeah. So that's your value system. Just worry. And about Parabrahma, nobody thinks. There is no time. At least that time, people would actually go until Vriddha. People become old person. Nowadays, what is old person? There is no definition. People die whenever. So what should be my priority? When should I really sit down and try to figure out my purpose of life? After death, there is no possibility. There is no possibility. If I need to sit down and think, it has to be now. And I really sit down and start thinking the purpose of my life. And how do I connect that with Krishna? And how do I surrender to Krishna? So right after Manmara Bhava Bhakta, Krishna says, Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. That's abandon everything, whatever is in your brain as the activity which you should be doing, get rid of it. Mam Ekam Sharanam Vraja. Move towards surrendering. Aham Tvam Sarva Papebhyo Mokshayishyami. I'll make sure your karmic bank account becomes zero. Ma Shachaha. Don't worry. And then Krishna says, I have told you everything, whatever I was supposed to be told. Think about it, contemplate about it, and decide what you want to do. Choose. You can choose. Absolute freedom. Arjuna could have walked out even then. Okay, Krishna, good conversation, very nice, great pep talk. I'm not impressed. I'm walking away. He could have. He had an opportunity. When Krishna says this, it was not just out of formality that okay, just this is the Vedic value system. Even after presenting the whole thing, you still give the other person a fair chance. So nobody is going to come to your house tomorrow morning. Or you just agreed yesterday that you will try to find your purpose of life or what are you doing? Are you really putting some efforts? You anyway logged into your work. You're doing one part anyways. Are you doing the other part? Nobody is going to check. I live quite far away. It takes 2 hours for me to come here. So I'm not going to come for sure. But then it's for you. Do you want to think about it? Yes. Make pairs right where you're sitting. And for next 2 minutes, or maybe next 4 minutes, everybody gets 2 minutes to speak. And think how you can actually make this a practical thing, which you can do it as soon as possible, in your own way. Make sure both of you and your partner speak. Just choose whoever is there next to you. Okay? Right now. Start. Time starts now. I started. Yes.
Okay. Finding your
To find what makes us happy, what natural,
you have to write down everything. మీకు న్యాచురల్గా వచ్చేది
that you are happy to do it can be like social.
Kanayaji,
these areas, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavad,
How can you connect these and social? Should we social as social?
So for example, because Radheshwari అనుకోండి అక్కడికి వెళ్ళిన గార్డెన్ సెట్ చేస్తాం లేదు అంటే చాక్లెట్ ఫెస్టివల్ సెట్ చేస్తాం సో కృష్ణ ఫుడ్ కోసం సెట్ చేస్తాం కొన్ని ఇక్కడికి వచ్చినప్పుడు పాత పిల్లలు ప్రభు వారి ఇంటి దగ్గర వచ్చేసాం పూర్తిగా లేదు.
you have a partner? Yes, okay, talking right? Good. You?
But is
No partner?
then that is your dharma.
It doesn't
Join
give
somewhere.
money is the issue. దానివల్ల మనం మనీ జనరేట్ చేసినట్లయితే
something that makes you happy means it has to your nature.
or if I want to start a kind of organization, చేస్తాను అందరికి అమ్ముతాను. సో అట్ ద సేమ్ టైం అది కృష్ణ కామెంట్ చేస్తానంటే ఓకే.
For me also, I think it's cooking naturally comes to me, and I'm happy doing it, and I don't mind like cooking and distributing offering to Krishna. If you distribute prasadam, then it's more like such a
I think if you ask,
yeah, that usually I need to incorporate in my lifestyle. Because work is there, apart from work, how I can improve these skills, and whenever I get the chance, same like Transliteration, and I usually try to do cooking service because I like doing it.
but it's somebody that knows you personally. Somebody that is both 30 seconds knows the scripture, what is what, and also knows you very well. Open your heart.
That is natural. అంటే చదివి ఎవరికైనా ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేయడం ఈజ్ దట్ చేంజ్.
We sit and we think.
Anything that ticks all the four boxes is your done.
Okay, we are done. Hare Krishna. You can continue the conversation after we are on the decision again. If you found it useful, but perhaps it's good to do it like this sometimes, right?
Yes.
We have never done it in life. It's perhaps good to just start thinking a little bit. What's the purpose of life? If you really want to make a difference in your own life and the life of others, the first thing you should be really doing. Imagine you are somehow, somewhere. Imagine you found this. You had no idea what is this. You have never seen something like this in your life, right? You just found it. You just don't know. And then you are using this for beating your dough. Okay? Dough. Beating your dough to make it softer. Can you use it?
Oh, yes.
You can.
Of course.
You can do, right? You can continue using it like this for the whole life until it is just smoke. But then, it's perhaps not the use of it. I mean, it is one of the use of it, but not the best use of it. This can keep the hot water really hot. Whole day maybe. So, your own life, your own body, your own existence, if you don't know what is the purpose behind, you are living a life, of course. Is that the best way of life? Who knows? And if you just tell who cares, means that you are just being irresponsible right now. Not knowing is fine, but if your thought process is who cares, it's just being irresponsible. And it's okay to be irresponsible. Life will not stop. It will continue. If you just think that anyway, this just one life, just do whatever you like. Unfortunately, again a wrong value system. Life will continue. It's not the only life. Life is circular. You'll have continuation of life. Just like your value system has taught you to ensure your life right now for the future unforeseen situations. You take 100 different insurance in Netherlands. Right? Every single possible thing, whatever you can think of, there is an insurance for it. Right? For your job, for your future legal battles, for your this, that, whatever. Right? Even after you die. So there is enough insurance which you can now think about for future unforeseen situations. But the real unforeseen situation, you just don't know what you're going to become once you die. Real unforeseen situation. Where is your insurance? No insurance. Yeah. You may tell again, I don't care. Okay, just being irresponsible. Right? So, that's the first and foremost value system Gita should bring in your life. To start thinking who you are. And once you start the process towards that, then start adding other components to it. You understand, you're just an infinitesimal spark of life, part of Krishna. And the perfection for you comes when you serve Krishna. Full heart. Yeah. So, and with that, thank you so much. Any thoughts, questions, comments? Yes?
How will a person know what is the Swadharma? Where it belongs?
Yeah. In the beginning of life, the Guru would observe in Vedic times. And then Guru would help refine that path. Right now we have sort of disconnected ourselves with that sort of education system and a value system. So right now it can start with you thinking about it, and if you need some support, the phone number you can find in the group. Yeah, you can discuss and then see if things make sense. What I suggest usually is that don't try to take any drastic measures. You can keep doing your jobs, your day jobs, perhaps whatever time you have left, 30 minutes a day or 1 hour a day or 5 hours a week, whatever, doesn't matter. Start doing that which is natural for you. Makes you happy.
Social service.
Absolute social contribution.
Connecting towards Krishna.
Start doing it. And see if it clicks with you. If it does, great. If it doesn't, then perhaps it's not the one, and move on. Yeah, we need to perhaps do a few iterations in trying to figure out. It took me around 15 years after I started practicing Bhakti to figure out eventually what I'm supposed to be doing. What's my Swadharma? This is my Swadharma. Teaching. That's what I do. I don't do this for money. I'm very happy doing this. Connecting myself and Krishna. Connecting myself and people with Krishna. That's awesome. So, it could be whatever for you. It will be cooking for you, it will be singing for you, it will be what, doesn't matter. Think. Okay? Good. Next question. Yes.
Well, you mentioned absolute social good. Now I remember from my mathematics, this was a common example of an impossible optimization. So according to material knowledge, this is impossible.
Yes.
So could you please elaborate?
Yeah, meaning that you don't have anything selfish associated with it. Right? You don't do it for gaining anything. Because in general, Vedic life is a life of interdependence, not independence. So when you are interdependent, meaning that, like for example, Kshatriya is doing his responsibility of taking care of people, protecting people, as a contribution, right? So he protects the Brahmanas, he protects the Vaishyas, he protects the Shudras, not just for his own family, but he's also, majority he's doing it for the society. A Brahmana is doing his teaching, his sharing of spiritual knowledge, all these things, expecting zero in return. And in traditional Vedic learning, the disciples at the end would just give some Guru Dakshina, whatever they could give. A Brahmana is not thinking, oh, this is the son of a king, I'll give more focus to him so that the king can give me better and better facilities. Oh, this is the son of a very low class poor person, I will not focus. Guru would not do that. He would treat everybody with equal respect. So he would not think about what can I gain from my activity. You would never think that. So if something comes by its own accord, okay, great, I accept it. A real Brahmana wouldn't even accept if somebody goes and gives him 20 kilos rice. He would just keep 1 kilo for right now lunch, then distribute the rest 19 kilos. And next day morning would go for begging again. Right? So that's the life which was there, wherein you are not thinking about the selfish gain. And nobody was thinking like that, right? So Srimad Bhagavatam says, Ataha kumbhabhija shrestha varnashrama vibhagashaha svanushthita dharmasya samsiddhi haritoshanam. So people would have a higher dimension along with whatever present reality they are living with. The goal of life would be to please Krishna, samsiddhi haritoshanam, for satisfaction of Krishna. So that's been lost now. So the reason I'm focusing on this aspect is because you need to be really able to think, and Varnashrama in its essence is basically a system where you contribute. Right? That's the default, and then when everybody contributes, you end up gaining. Isn't it? So it's not just one person is doing it. So as a community, if you do it, if everybody is contributing, you will be the best beneficiary out of it. Okay? Because if I work for myself, that's X amount. If 40 other people are working for you, right, and you are not working for yourself, so that's 39X, right? So it's a better system. And that's the reason I focus on it, because otherwise it's a bit difficult. Somebody may tell that, I just, all I like is just playing football. I just keep playing football. I'm very happy. It's very natural for me. And I keep chanting Hare Krishna mantra while I kick the football. Right. So, it's a bit difficult to tell that that's a Sudharma. Right. What contribution is it to the society? Yeah? Thank you. Next question.
I can ask one more question.
Sure.
Like the Kshatriya and especially Brahmanas,
Yeah.
how can they fit in the current society? What can people with this nature do? Because like Shudras and Vaishyas, we can see this
They're
kind
failed
of
with it, right?
Sorry?
Everybody is a Shudra. Failed. That's what I was saying, right? The entire labor class.
Yeah.
Programmed for it.
Yeah. So that's we can see, we can practically
Yes.
apply.
Yes.
But what if somebody has one of these two higher, especially?
A Brahmana is a teacher in general. A person who is very happy with sharing the knowledge, pursuing his own. That describes the whole entire qualities of it. It's peaceful. The focus of life is transcendence. It's not about mundane material things. And he's happy to share with others. That's a Brahmana's responsibility, and Brahmana by default is operating like that. A Kshatriya is into administration, protection. So we have a lot of services which can be dovetailed towards management, administration. Especially in ISKCON, we have enough situation where we need to protect, to manage, administrate. So that those tendencies can be utilized in that. Yeah. Good. Next question. No questions?
Once you have figured out your Swadharma, more often it doesn't provide us the money for living.
Yeah.
So how do you balance the day job and once say you have figured out, okay, this is my Swadharma?
Yeah, start doing it. The universe is set up in a way, it's designed in a way that if you are actually getting connected with your Swadharma, you will be lifted up. Everything else is provided. It will be, for sure. But you need to experience it. Yeah. There's a design to the universe. It's called as Rita. It's a Vedic concept. The universe is not just a chaos. There's a design. There is orderliness. There is governance. The default configuration is that anybody who is performing dharma is supported. Yeah. So, to start doing it and you will see it. On practical terms, start small. Don't jump the ship before your other ship is ready to sail. Right? So Bhagavad gives the example of when you're walking, you're taking one step, second step stops. You take the second step only when this step is strong enough. Yeah. So baby steps. Start doing simple, as I said, even maybe 10 minutes a day, 30 minutes a day, just do something which is perhaps in your swadharma, purpose, aligned, small. We'll see how it goes. As I said also that perhaps you may need some iterations in arriving at what it is. Because right now I'm like, oh Prabhu, I like this also, that also, this also. Which one? I am not a magician. I can't tell them. Right? So I can't think, okay, let's toss, right? Head or tail. That's not the right way. Start doing it and then you will find it. Okay? Good. Next. That's it. Around 5 people to speak. Yes, Mataji. Sure. What's your name? I'm seeing you somewhere.
We have met in the previous show during the workshop.
Okay.
And this was my first question to you when I met what is the purpose of, like how to identify the purpose of life.
Okay.
But for now,
Oh, you're from Karnataka, right? I met both of you? Right, yes, good.
So currently my question is not related to purpose of life. Thanks to you, you explained it so well. I could somehow find mine. But I just wanted to understand currently whatever we are seeing in this world, people are becoming too extreme about things that they are not even considering the other person a human being.
Yes.
They also have the right to live.
Yes.
Right? How do we protect the well-being of the people who are not into this extremism and I'm able to explain my
So the best answer will come if you put real terms to it. So don't try to suppress what you're really wanting to tell. Just tell it out.
Okay,
And then
so
I'll be able to
whatever
answer.
recently happened in Bangladesh, right?
Yes.
That innocent guy, he was just saying that all religions are equal.
Yeah.
They all have their own deities.
Yeah.
And people took him, and he was lynched and then burned alive.
Yeah.
Right? And we are surrounded with such
Yes.
world.
Yes.
We are living in such world.
Yes.
To be honest, I also had a secret thread until this year. Somehow I started feeling, scared that people are noticing that, because I've seen people, looking at that thread. I want to live for my family,
Yes.
for my son,
Yes.
give him good values.
Yes,
I
yes.
don't just want to
For sure.
die that somebody targets. Like, of course, I was also thinking way too much.
Yes.
Nobody's coming with it. But then we have incidents like
Yes.
how do we still stay safe and keep our society safe?
Yeah.
Right?
Very good. So there is a reality in the world. You need to first understand the reality of the world. The reality of the world is there are people who are really being bad right now. Yeah. And there is no mincing of words there. They're just being crazy idiots.
Yeah.
Now, if the situation is like that, I need to be equipped to deal with it. If you are only following some of the recent, more, cooked up or diluted version of the Vedic teachings, wherein they tell you just tolerate everything, that's not going to work out. You need to be equipped to deal with it.